this morning. And I appreciate you giving me a platform to share what I know about video editing. I want to begin by saying, disclaimer, I am not an expert by any means at this, and I don't say that to discredit myself. That's not how you begin a presentation, but I say that because I have so many people that are saying, I love your videos, I'm not good at tech, I could never do that. I am not an expert at technology. I do not have formal training in editing videos or creating engaging videos. So anybody can do this, anybody. So that's what I want to share with you today. I'm going to share my screen. Is that okay?
Yeah, that sounds great. And I actually linked your presentation into the chat for everyone as well so they can follow along. I hope that's okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
So I am Chelsea Sexton. I am the visual arts teacher at Norton Elementary. I've got my email linked there. I did not actually find out until this morning that I had an entire hour, so I'm excited you get to listen to me ramble for that time. And hopefully that gives me a little bit of extra time to answer any questions. But if you think of anything, shoot me an email. I'm always happy to help, and I love to learn from you all too. So if there is something that you think would help me or that I might find interesting, please drop me an email and share that with me. So I'm going to begin by just sharing one of the videos that I created in the last couple of months. Again, if you want to see more, I post them on Twitter and on my YouTube. So I create these for my students, and you can see just a little clip of what it's about. Hi, Norton Cougars. Oops.
Oh, no.
Try this again. Hi, Norton Cougars. It's laundry day. What? That's right. So grab your clean or dirty laundry and let's make some laundry art.
Hold up, Miss Sexton. What if we don't have an imagination?
Oh, but you do. Imagination isn't a final product. It's a process. It isn't what we see. It is how we see. And just like anything else, it's a skill we must practice. Here are some tips. Relax. It's hard to open your mind when you feel stressed. Turn off the voice in your head that tells you you're making a mistake. Yes, that one that tells you you can't. It's not your friend in art class, and it's standing in your way. Think positive thoughts and try not to compare your art to the art of others. You are a fearless artist, and you can do this. Find some inspiration. Books, music, movies, and nature are great places to look. However, don't let your inspiration do all of the imagining for you. Practice finding connections between unlike things. This can be hard at first, so be patient with yourself. Last, and most importantly, have fun. When your mind is at play, great ideas will flow.
I love always having some clean clothes. You already know. What's a better feeling than clean clothes? You already know. It's laundry day. It's laundry day. It's laundry day. Hey. Laundry day.
So I want to break video editing, creating engaging videos down into three main aspects today. So the first one is going to be content. The second is going to be emotion. And then the third is going to be the filming and editing component. So let's talk about content.
Chelsea, could you turn your captions back on again? I'm so sorry.
Did I turn them off?
There you go. Thank you.
Okay, So when you create your videos, you want to start with a hook. Viewers hate sifting through mediocre content to find what they're looking for, and I'm sure you have this, everyone has this experience. So let people know that they are in the right place so that they can stop searching. So deliver your hook in the beginning of the video by directly telling the viewer what you're going to do and what they can expect from watching it. So that's always really important because, a lot of times when you are looking for something specific, you're YouTubing it, if it doesn't tell you exactly what you need to know immediately, you're not going to sit there and listen any further. Second, spark curiosity. It's important to know your audience when you do this, and many of us are creating videos for our students. So you can use information that you know would be of value to your students and then present that information in an entertaining way. So if you know that your students are, into a particular video game, or they really enjoy a certain app, find some sort of a way to engage them by appealing to their interests, and they'll immediately tune in and be more interested in whatever it is that you're teaching them, if you can relate to them. TikTok is another way that a lot of teachers are bringing that connection in with their students. They're tying it together. So they may create a TikTok video, and students love those. So it's just another way to engage your viewers. Develop a script that is short and sweet, and I cannot say this enough. If you try to just start recording and you don't have a game plan, most of us will ramble for a very long time. If you gave me an hour like you did right now, I could ramble and ramble and ramble if I did not have this PowerPoint in front of me. So what I like to do before I ever start filming is just kind of doing like a bulleted script for the things that I want to hit in my video. And I want to make sure that what I say in my videos is relevant and providing value. So by creating a script, I don't have any extra stuff in there that is unnecessary. It's safe to assume your viewers have a short attention span. Most of us do these days. So they have plenty of distractions, and they don't need some long drawn out video. So what I like to do is create a short script, and I give myself room to ad lib. And so that way it doesn't seem stiff, it doesn't seem rehearsed, but I am hitting those key points. And then I also seem natural by, giving myself the freedom to talk here and there. And then when I go back and edit, I can always, take out some of the really long rambling parts. But it's always easier to start filming with a game plan and having that script. So, how long should my video be? I am a big believer in short, snappy videos. And what I mean by that is videos that are shorter than 3 minutes and that have really quick transitions, because, once again, viewers lose interest. So there has been a lot of research on this, and shorter videos are more engaging than longer videos. So stats show that videos up to 2 minutes have significantly more engagement. If you're new to creating videos, start with short videos around 2 minutes. Anything longer, you start to see a decline in engagement. If I am looking for a video on YouTube and I see something that's interesting and I click on it and it's 9 minutes, sometimes if it doesn't jump right into it, I just click on to the next thing. The other reason that it's helpful to have a short video is because you can always click back and find whatever it is specifically you're looking for. So for example, if I'm teaching an art lesson and a student wants to go back and find the place where I went through the steps, that's easy to navigate and find that place in a 2-minute video. But if it's a 9-minute video, it's a little bit harder. So keeping it short and sweet is the trick. So if you are a teacher, I highly recommend creating short videos. Sometimes they may seem really quick, but then again, students can always hit pause, the power of pause, and they can rewatch it. Okay, so let's move on to our second aspect of an engaging video. Emotion. Make it authentic by showing your personality. Showing your personality will deepen the bond between you and your viewers, which will make your videos authentic. And authenticity is one of the keys to an engaging video. So if you've watched my videos on Twitter or YouTube, you would know that there's lots of personality in them. Every single week I am either dressing up or doing silly dances. I'm allowing myself to be completely goofy, and that is really fun because it lets my students know a little bit about me. And being a little bit weird is refreshing. Having that personality, bringing it to the table is refreshing. Your students want to know you, and especially now since we are not in the classroom with our students, and many of them I have never even met, like my kindergartners, it's a great way to connect with them and make them feel like they're getting to know you better. As soon as I drop my videos at 5 p.m. on a Thursday, I have kids that are immediately jumping on to see what I'm gonna do next, because I try to make it entertaining, and I always share a little bit about myself. Okay, ask questions. Engage your viewer with direct questions to make them feel like you're having a conversation with them rather than just talking at them. As teachers, we know that talking at your students all day is not interesting to them. They will tune out. But if you engage them by asking questions that can keep them connected and get them thinking, this is very helpful. So I like to end with a question in all of my videos, which I've just sort of used as a tag at the very end, which is, what will you create? And that is to encourage students to think, also to encourage them to put their artwork out there, like on social media, have their parents upload it for them. I love seeing it out there. You could also ask students a question related to your topic and lead them to a comment section depending on where you're posting your video. And that way you can continue the conversation. And I say, once again, conversation, because you don't want this to just be one-sided. You want to engage people. You want it to be a back and forth. And yes, you can do that with video. Consider your energy and tone. Determine the right intonation, pace, and volume level for the delivery of your message. So make sure that your expressions match what you are saying. When we are excited, we make gestures, we physically act things out, and people feel that energy when we are filming and we are being authentic, and we have that energy, we're showing it with our bodies, and they're captivated by it. It's a lot more interesting to watch than if you just have a stationary, stiff teacher in front of you. So feel free to be animated. Also, pick up the pace of your video and switch it up. Variety. Here's what I mean by that. You want to pick up the pace of your speech and change it up a little bit. So you want to speak a little bit fast, and then you might slow it down a little bit. And the same goes for editing in your video. So speed it up, slow it down. Speed it up, slow it down. It keeps people interested. It is engaging to do it that way. It's just more interesting to watch. So variety is key. Don't be boring. No one wants to watch a boring video. And also, don't be too hyped up. I say this and I think about my own videos, and maybe that's be as hyped as you want to be. But sometimes if you are too excited in their face, it can also be a little bit off-putting. So regulating your energy and tone takes practice. It's very strange to see yourself on video. It really is. And I'm sure as teachers that are learning with NTI, it's really intimidating to record yourself, even if you are alone in your house. And sometimes as soon as I hit the record button, it's immediately just, I forget everything I'm saying. I forget how to speak. why does my face look that way? Why am I making these weird expressions? It takes practice to be comfortable and to get the hang of it when you're making videos. But practice, practice, practice. All right, so that third aspect that we're going to talk about, filming and editing, my favorite part. So here's the tricky thing. When people say, how do you make your videos? That's the question I'm getting. What app are you using? And I'm almost embarrassed to tell people, but I'm using my phone for everything. And that is because my Chromebook has not been as user-friendly for, it's not a great creative app. It's not a great creative tool, I should say. Now, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe you have some great app that you're using on your Chromebook, and if you are one of those people and you know of that app, please send it my way. But I have found that since I do not have an Apple computer anymore, I would be using Adobe After Effects, but I don't have that anymore, and so I use my cell phone. The convenience of this is it is always on me. So not only do I record my videos using my cell phone, it's right at my fingertips, so I can edit on the go, wherever I am, and that's helpful. But there are so many great apps out there. They are coming out with new apps constantly, and it's almost hard to keep up with them. But I'm going to share some of my favorite apps with you today, the ones that I'm using currently, and I'm trying to pick up a new app almost every single week, which sounds crazy, but there's so many things that I want to learn how to do as I get more into the video editing, and great tools that you can find out there to add to your videos to make them more engaging. So you want to find the right video editing app for you, okay? So I'm going to share what works for me, and hopefully that works for you, but it's not a one-size-fits-all. So while there are a lot of apps out there, and I'm not going to go too far into all of them, I want to tell you that I have tried out many apps, free and paid, and my personal favorite free app that I'm using to create most of my videos is InShot. I'm all about simple and easy to use. And again, I said at the very beginning of my presentation, I am not an expert. I do not have a degree in video editing. It's just something that I have become interested in with NTI, and I opened up an app one day and just started playing around. And so it's that easy. You can do this. It is not as complicated as you may think it is. Okay, so the app InShot, it is free, but it is worth it to get the paid version. It has a couple of other capabilities with the free, with the paid version, like transitions, and I'll talk about transitions in a minute. But it's worth the $2.99 to remove ads and watermarks for sure, because those can be annoying when you are trying to edit a video. So I think I paid $14 for the app for an entire year, which has totally paid off and been worth it. I think that InShot is the best cross-platform video editing app for making social media videos. And I like this because it comes with pre-built canvas sizes for everything. So if you know that you're going to be posting your video to a specific platform like Twitter, social media of some sort, you can just click on TikTok or click on Twitter, and it will formulate your video to make it exactly the right size. The biggest reason why I love it is that I feel like it's a really intuitive app. So it's easy to figure it out. Even if you are not reading about it or reading a how-to, it's fairly simple, and I think anyone can learn how to do it easily. Some of the apps that I've used may have all of these cool capabilities, but I can't figure out how to do it all, and it's overwhelming. So this one seems very straightforward, and it also has just enough effects that I can create simple videos that are engaging. When you import your videos into the app, That's one reason why it's great to work on a phone with this, is that you have all of your videos that you've shot, say, on your cell phone, and you can just bring them into the app. You can trim them, you can speed them up, or you can slow down clips. You can edit your clips together, and then you can add filters, you can add stickers, captions, emojis, as well as free music and sound effects to the audio. So when you look for music, always make sure, just a side note, that you look for royalty-free movie, or you credit people when you do that. And InShot has a great library that you can use. Stickers. I use a lot of stickers in my videos, and what I mean by those, they're just little moving animated jiffies. Actually, Jiffy is uploaded into the app already, and you can use stickers regularly and save them, which is nice, because when you get into creating videos often, you can just reuse some of those stickers that you use in all of your videos to be consistent. Maybe it's a tag you have at the end. Maybe if you do lessons where you have a list of materials, you have a material sticker, and that just saves you some time. Because if I'm being honest with you all, video editing is very time consuming. When you start using this app, if you are new to InShot or video editing in general, it will seem incredibly slow as you create it, but it is very rewarding to see all of those moving pieces that you have created come together at the end, just how you have composed it, just how you have intended it to be, and that is so satisfying. It does get faster, but as you're learning the app, there is a learning curve. But this is the simplest app that I have found to create videos. So if you want to download that and give it a try, they do have this available on Chromebook, but disclaimer, it does not work well on the Chromebook. It's glitchy, and I have not had any issues using my iPhone. Okay, so the next app that I have used recently is called VideoShop. And I came across this app because I wanted to learn how to layer videos, meaning I wanted to be able to put one video on top of another video on top of another moving graphic. And this was a way to do it, because that is something that InShot does not offer. It does not enable you to layer multiple videos on top of one another. Stickers, yes, but videos, no. So I just started using this one a couple of weeks ago, and it's really neat. I will say that it is not quite as user-friendly to me, in my opinion, as, say, InShot, but it does have some capabilities that InShot does not have. And this is an app that I will continue to work with, because I think that it does have a lot of really cool things to offer, but I just don't know it well enough. I did use it to create this video here, but I'm a little bit hesitant to play it. I might wait until the end of my slideshow, just because I'm afraid it's going to glitch again and do whatever just happened a few minutes ago. But again, all my videos, if you're interested in seeing them, you can check them out on my YouTube or on my Twitter. With this video that I did, I was layering multiple graphics in VideoShop. I was putting multiple videos into one video, and I was using a green screen effect for part of it as well. So if you don't know what a green screen effect is, that is when somebody stands in front of a screen that is green, and you can replace whatever's green behind you with whatever picture or background that you want to be behind you. So you could be anywhere. So it's a lot like when you're zooming and you've got, you change the screen behind you, but you can do that in your videos too, which is really fun. Speaking of green screen effect, as I was learning about how to use green screens, I came across this app called Chromavid. And Chromavid is really neat because it allows you to film yourself wherever you want, to create that green screen video, but you don't necessarily have to use a green screen. So you can choose the color of the background that you would like to use to replace. And so instead of just green being an option, I think they've got red and blue and yellow. And that's handy because if you don't happen to have some big green screen in your house, which most of us don't, that's a great way to maybe find a wall that you have that is blue, and you can replace that. And then you can easily choose a picture from your phone to put behind you so that you can be someplace else. And that's really neat to, it gives you a lot of creative freedom when you are able to switch up where you are instead of just having your house. Another tip for that, if you Amazon green screen, you can find a green screen kit, and it's probably $30 or something crazy like that. Or you could just go to the store and get a green poster board, or hang up a green sheet, or if you're using ChromaVid, whatever color you want, and that will work for basically doing a simple green screen. You don't have to have anything fancy for that. I know that a lot of people also know about green screen from TikTok. And while I can't say I am a huge TikTok fan, if you are on TikTok, I will say that it's got some really cool effects that you can use, and green screen is one of them. So if you're looking for just an easy way to capture that, you can film yourself in TikTok and then bring that video into InShot or any other app. And create that green screen effect. And I've actually done that in several of my videos as well. Another app that I love is Pixaloop. This is really cool, kind of complicated. It's got so many different effects that you can use. But just by playing around with it, you can do some simple effects. It's almost like a filter that you can put on your photos that create animated photos. So something will be still, but you can make one part of your photo move. And so you can create that moving picture and then bring it into InShot. It'll just send that finished little video, the animated little picture video, to your phone, and then you can import that into InShot or any other video editing app. And it's just fun to play with. So I highly recommend you check that out too. I got a question about my video that I put up this past week. Someone asked how I had created a moving Sir Isaac Newton that appeared to be talking. So it was a still image, but it moved. You could have edited this in the app that I just showed you, Pixaloop. But I, funny enough, decided to one day film my cat talking. They had this app, My Talking Pet, and seeing how it made my cat talk, it actually mirrors the facial expressions you make. I thought, well, I can do that with a picture. So easy hack. No, it is not a pet, but you can make your pictures move and talk. And so I've done that with several videos now. If you're wondering how I make a still image talk, it is because I simply hold up my phone, I upload a picture, and then it allows you to put little anchor points at the edge of the picture's mouth, and then you can make it move that way. Really easy. It takes like less than a minute to create. And then once again, you just save that little short video into your camera roll, and then you can import it and add it into InShot. So that's fun. A lot of people use iMovie. I personally do not, but it's worth noting that it is a very popular way to edit videos. It's a good beginner's video editing app. I actually did not find it as user-friendly as InShot. So it's not the most feature-rich, but it is intuitive. It makes it easy to do the basics. So you can edit clips, you can add titles, music, voiceovers. But if you want to get a little bit fancy, I recommend choosing another app. But some people love this. Again, it's personal choice, and you really have to find an app that you feel comfortable with and that works for you. All right, so as far as filming and editing goes, let's talk about the editing process and some tricks that you can use to make that a little bit faster. Some tricks that you can actually use when you're filming. And one of those tricks is creating movement. When you are talking to the camera, you can cut to different parts of the frame to create the illusion of movement in the viewer's eye. And so I do this a lot. I like to switch it up. It's just another way to add variety and make it interesting. So let's use an example. You say something, okay? And then you cut the camera. You just step several feet away, and then you begin recording again. You can try zooming in and then zooming out. Move the camera. It's a lot more interesting than seeing a stationary person in one position talking the entire time. So by switching up the camera angle, zooming in and out, it creates movement. And weird as it is, these techniques really do work to make your video more engaging. It keeps it refreshing. And a lot of these video apps that I'm talking about have fancy transitions that can help create movement and break up your content. And so when I say transitions, you have what are called frames, so little chunks of videos that maybe you string together. And between these little clips that you have, these frames, you can create a transition which will help to break up your content and direct the viewer onto the next topic that you're working with. So maybe I do an intro to my lesson that day, and then I want to talk about the materials that you're going to be using. Then I'd have a transition between my intro, and then it would go into my materials. So you can do like a spiral effect. You can do a zooming in and out. There are all these fancy different tools that you can use for creating transitions. And I almost like to think about it as dancing. So if you're using music in your video, you kind of go with the beat of it, the feel of it. And so I guess that part's sort of an intuitive, it's intuitive to agree. And that means, you kind of go with the feel of your video and what you're going for. So if you want it to be, quick and snappy, there are plenty of transitions for that. I would just caution you to not overdo it and use every single transition in one video, because you don't want to make people nauseous. Use snappy editing. What do I mean by this? Snappy means there isn't a lot of extra unnecessary time. So bad editing or no editing can cause viewers to keep scrolling or to lose interest. And that's one more reason why I say it's a good idea to have a script ahead of time before you film your video, only because it cuts down on time. If you are speaking and you have a lot of ums or pauses or awkward silences, which happens when we film ourselves, you can edit those out. You can split your frames, and you can learn how to do that in InShot very easily. And then just delete little parts of them so that you have a nice, concise frame. And then that way the viewer is not sitting there, while you have all this idle time, because they are going to move on. We have short attention spans, and so a frame with few or no cuts becomes really dull and boring. Snappy editing keeps that viewer's attention and helps to tell a more interesting story. So short videos, snappy editing is the way to go. Editing can also make filming easier, since you can use quick cuts to remove script mistakes or awkward pauses. As I said, that is a lifesaver, because there's lots of awkward stuff when I film. Okay, add eye-catching visuals and graphics. You heard me talk about stickers in InShot earlier, and so this is one of the things that I do that really helps polish your videos and take them to the next level. And it also helps to reinforce your message. So especially if you work with students that are younger and are not great readers, students that are not auditory learners, I'm not an auditory learner. It's just another way to deliver instruction that hits all of those senses. And reaches the needs of all those diverse learners. So incorporating text, pictures, animation really helps to reinforce that message in a short amount of time. In fact, visual communication is the fastest way to communicate. So having some sort of a visual, a picture, a little animation as you're speaking, that is extremely helpful and makes the video more engaging. So visual clues help to move your viewer through your video. It keeps them interested. So think a lot about show, don't tell. So it's more powerful to show your viewers visually what you're saying instead of just rambling on and on about a topic in your video. So if you're actually demonstrating it, or if you have a picture, a little animation that can help illustrate your point, it's a faster way to communicate it. Use sound effects and music. So it's just like I said, you want to involve all of the senses, as many as possible, and it engages people more, the more senses you can hit. So by combining your music with carefully curated sounds, sound effects, you can also find tons online. It just involves another layer of complexity to your videos. Engaging multiple senses not only helps the viewers process your content, but it makes it more memorable. So having good music, it can make or break a video. And it also, I think, really sets a mood for the video as well. My students love the music that I put in mine. It makes them catchy. Sometimes they want to watch it over and over again just because they love the song in it. And when they're watching your video over and over and over and it's a lesson, they're learning. So the key to using sound effects and music is ensuring that the music matches your message, and helps to reinforce it. So just because you have a favorite song does not mean that it belongs in your video. It has to match the mood of your video. Okay, so if you have an upbeat video, choose something that is appropriate for an upbeat song. If you're doing something that is like a slow, relaxing process, in my case as an art teacher, sometimes I'm doing, a slow painting, and you want it to be sort of peaceful or relaxing, then adjust your music accordingly.
Chelsea?
Yes.
Sorry, Jenny Falcone asked in the chat, what are some of the best ways to get music / sound effects added to InShot?
Okay, so they have a music tab, and you click on that and you can import anything from your iTunes library that you have on your phone, but you also can use any of their free music that they offer. So they have royalty-free music, and it's not a huge selection, but it's enough. And you're able to directly import either your iTunes music from your library or their royalty-free music. They also have sound effects there as well. And then at the very end of my videos, I always make sure that I finish with crediting the artist, because as artists, it's very important to make sure that we are using music legally, and that we give credit to the music that we are using for our video. So those artists, always make sure that you tag them at the very end, someplace in it. And, any sort of music that you want to create, you can use any sort of a music app and then also import it into InShot just by clicking on that music tab. And you can record directly into the program as well. So if you want to sing, if you want to dance, if you want to sing and dance, you can do all of the music and the visuals in InShot. So there's a record button. You can do sound effects on your own if you want to do that, but they also have their own library of those effects and the music as well. Good question. There are a lot of websites I know that have audio libraries and apps that offer royalty-free music. And so you can just do a search for that, and you can import those easily by clicking on the music tab in InShot and then click import. Some additional tips. Oh my goodness, it is 10:50 almost, and I have managed to ramble for an hour. Awesome. Additional tips. invest in a decent microphone. And I learned this the hard way when I started filming, because my iPhone, while I use it to film, and that's fine and dandy, the sound just is not great. So if you want your videos to be more professional, take to the next level, invest in a decent microphone. And it does not have to be super expensive. There are a lot of microphones out there, and I was very overwhelmed when I started searching for them, because there are some that are $800 out there. Like, do I need this? How fancy is this sound? You do not need to purchase an $800 microphone. I have a decent microphone that is $20. But my favorite one that I'm using right now is a microphone it's by Shure, the brand Shure, Shure, and it's the Shure MV88, I believe. I'll have to double check on that. But I got a whole video editing app that came with that microphone, and I got a tripod that came with it as well, and it was a whole bundle, and it wasn't inexpensive, but it has paid off, I think. I really enjoy it, and it works well, and so that is, I think, about $150 for that whole bundle of the tripod, the mic, the app. But a $20 camera or a $20 microphone makes a huge difference, and you can just Amazon those. It makes a big difference when it comes to sound. It's better than the iPhone. You want to always make sure that whether you have a microphone or not, that you stabilize your phone with a tripod. And if you don't want to buy a tripod, you can easily make one. But that in fact, just Google it, and they have so many different easy hacks for creating one with like paper towel rolls or whatever. But just stabilize your phone so that your camera is not all shaky, because that is just a key that makes it look more professional. You want to find good lighting. So when you are filming, avoid a place that has harsh shadows, harsh lighting. You don't want it to be really dark. And a good solution for this is there are tripods out there that have a light built in, like a ring. And I just purchased one of those a couple of months ago, and I really liked it. It's handy for if you are a teacher that does any sort of demonstration. Like, I film myself doing art, and so the tripod adjusts, and the ring of light can go directly down on your work, and so that my students can see me drawing or painting, and it lights up the space. So bright videos so that you don't have to use filters on it all at the end. Learn to utilize that slow-mo time-lapse when you are shooting video on your phone. I use time-lapse when I am filming long art projects. So if I'm starting a painting from the beginning to end, sometimes it is a long process, and I don't want my students to have to watch a 30-hour painting video. So by just going in your iPhone, not an app, but just your iPhone, to the time-lapse feature, I just start filming it. I set it up on my tripod, and it just saves you so much time editing, because then you have what was a 30-minute video broken down into already a 30-second snap. And so that is helpful. It saves you time editing. Add captions to your content. Many people will not watch your video with sound, and so if they don't see captions, they'll just keep scrolling. So you have the ability to add text in InShot as well, and it's really easy to do. So if you want to put words with whatever you're saying, that's very helpful for viewers. Also makes it more engaging. Okay, so just to recap. 3 aspects of creating engaging videos: content, emotion, and filming and editing. So with that content, make sure you start with a hook. Let people know what it is immediately that you are going to be telling them in your video. You want to spark that curiosity. You want to get them interested and engaged by relating to them in some way. You want to develop a script before you start filming. Make sure that it is short and sweet. We do not want to have rambling. We don't want to have something that is slow with lots of awkward pauses. We don't want that. Emotion, make it authentic by showing your personality. It's a great way to engage viewers. It makes you more relatable. Students love it. Ask questions. That way, it kind of creates a back and forth conversation. It engages viewers. It gets them to extend beyond that video, and it gives you the opportunity to continue a conversation beyond that video. Gets them thinking. Consider your energy and tone. So bring that energy to your video. Make sure that you switch things up a lot. Make sure you switch up your volume. Make sure you switch up the speed in which you speak or in which you show clips. So fast, slow, fast, slow. Make it more, make it have variety, okay? Filming and editing. Make sure that you find the right video editing app for you. I have talked about the app InShot. I talked about iMovie, and then I gave you a list of some apps that I use to create videos or parts of my videos that you are more than welcome to download. And again, if you know of some apps that work for you that you are really loving, please send them my way because I would love to learn more about this. Create movement. You want to make sure that you're not just filming in a stationary place. You want to switch it up. So zoom in, zoom out, film yourself from the side, at an angle, walking. It's more engaging. Use snappy editing. So you want to make sure that you don't have long pauses that are awkward. You want it to flow quickly from one frame to the next. And add eye-catching visuals and graphics using stickers on top, or you can layer videos using one of the apps that I just talked about. That's a great way to make it more engaging because there's a lot going on. And then last, use sound effects and music. Make sure that it matches the mood of your video. All of this helps to just add to the senses when someone is watching, and it makes it more memorable. It also makes it easier to digest that information when you have something that is kind of going along with your video and people really feel a part of it. So it is 10:55, and I want to make sure that I answer any questions if anyone has them. And if I don't answer a question and you have one later on, please feel free to reach out to me. You can follow me on Twitter at Norton Art Room. You can follow my YouTube channel, Chelsea Sexton, and email me anytime. I'm happy to answer any questions, and I love to hear from you guys too. I've had some people that have given me some really great suggestions for some apps to try, and I'm loving that.